Check. We're good.
Testing 1 2.
I can't hear you.
Testing 1
There
2.
we go.
Testing 1 2. I'm a little
Got you.
hot.
How about my
Go ahead, keep talking.
checking 1 2 1 2 1 2.
You're good.
All right.
Here we go.
You're listening to the start of your NFL week. You're listening to the Opening Whistle Radio Show. Right here on MessinRadio.com. Now, here are your hosts, Albert Albanese and Avi Schiffman.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Opening Whistle Radio Show. I'm your host, Albert Albanese.
And I'm Avi Schiffman.
And here we are again for week 2 of the Opening Whistle Radio Show right here on MessinRadio.com. Thanks, you guys, for listening. And as always, if you want to get involved in the conversation, you can give us a call. The number is 609-910-0687. And we're going to talk a lot about, what happened last week. And Avi, it was a very interesting week in the in football land.
Yeah, it was a pretty interesting week. Pretty bad week for our teams. Pretty non-memorable week of football in general.
Yeah, basically, it was just one of those weeks where I kind of feel like we guessed a lot of games wrong.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah, that's true.
There was, I don't know. I feel like, this was just one of those weeks where there was a lot of surprises, some upsets, and I guess we'll kind of get into that now. We'll start off really quick. We'll run down the Thursday game. The Seahawks beat the Cardinals 22-16. And was there really any of a doubt?
No, it was a game for a little bit.
bit.
The biggest news about that game was Richard Sherman, going down.
Yeah,
for the year.
Out for the year. That's a tough injury, especially for a team like, the Seahawks, where they're really based heavily around their defense. And I kind of feel like this is going to be a big blow to them. But, I really didn't think that they were going anywhere to begin with this year. I don't know. I felt like that, they were kind of a little bit stagnant, for where they were. They won. They're a 6-3 team, but they're one of those teams that don't feel like they're 6-3.
Right. No, I hear you. They're like a lot of teams in this league. But you know what? They beat the team they should beat. They beat Drew Stanton. I'll take Russell Wilson over Drew Stanton any day.
Oh, absolutely.
But, they won the game. They won a game that they were supposed to win.
Right.
So that's important.
Absolutely.
But, losing Richard Sherman now, that's a huge blow.
Well, that's a huge blow. Another huge blow is that the Seattle was really built on their defense and their run game. And right now, Russell Wilson is the leading rusher on the Seahawks.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It is. He was 22 for 37, 238 yards, 2 touchdowns. It was a Russell Wilson game. That's what Russell Wilson does. But,
right.
Doug Baldwin, Jimmy Graham both got involved in the offense. But, it's just, when Thomas Rawls isn't running the ball the right way and,
right.
They don't have a Marshawn Lynch. Eddie Lacy played well last week, and then he goes down with an injury.
Well, Russell Wilson, he's great at scrambling. Did you see that play he made to Doug Baldwin?
Absolutely.
That was an unbelievable play.
Yeah.
That he made, what he did. But that's what they need him to do. That's what he is. That's what he's done in his career. That's what makes him a really, really great quarterback.
Right.
He's a Super Bowl champion, and he's one bad decision away from, winning another one. So, but, they took care of business, which they should have.
No, I completely agree. There's not much to say on the Seahawks side. I'm on the Cardinals side. The Cardinals just aren't that. They're just not. They're not competitive. Carson Palmer's injured. It's just. They need to figure out what they're going to do pretty soon because let's face it. When Carson Palmer and Larry Fitzgerald are both gone, what is that team anymore? They're
one of many teams that are going to be looking for a quarterback this offseason, in my opinion.
I completely agree. So that was the Thursday game. There's not really much else to say about it.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the Sunday games, and we'll move on to my heartbreak. So the Bucs beat the Jets 15-10, and this again, man, unbelievable. Just when you think, last week we sat here and we talked about how the Jets could be a viable playoff contender if they keep playing the right way. Their defense plays solid enough. Their offense keeps clicking, and here it is. Same old Jets.
Yeah, but you know what? I kind of differ from you. Listen, it's not that they lost the game. It's who they lost to. And the quarterback who they lost to.
They lost to Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's the problem.
They lost to Ryan Fitzpatrick. Do you know, Albert? Do you know how many sacks the Bucs had coming into this game all season?
I believe it was 6.
8.
It was 8. Okay.
They had 8. And yesterday they had 6.
They had 6. Yeah.
They had 6. But you know what? You can't blame the defense. Defense was good. But when you have Josh McCown versus Ryan Fitzpatrick, it's basically take your pick at this point. I would take Josh McCown. I think he's been really good.
I agree.
And he didn't play horrible in the game. It just, I don't know, the defense was good. They just couldn't, Robbie Anderson is turning into a stud. I'm loving him. He's touchdown every week.
The kid's becoming a breakout wide receiver.
But, they can't lose
on a crappy team.
This was such a big game for them. Going to the bye, going to 5-5, and see what they have ahead. They have Carolina and Kansas City coming in.
I know.
Imagine being 5. Now they're 4-6 now. They could be easily 4-8 in 2 weeks.
They probably
but after
will
this
be.
win, but you know what? If they were 5-5, I thought they could split those games. Possibly, they could beat the Panthers. They might beat Kansas City. Who knows? But that was a huge loss for them. But I'm not giving up on them just yet because they're not out of it. They're only, I think, a game back.
I am.
Okay, you can give up on them.
I mean, look. Here's the thing.
You gotta give it for their defense, though. Their defense is showing up every week.
Their defense is playing great. Here's the thing. You talk a lot about just a quarterback not being able to bring you there, and Josh McCown's not going to be that guy. The guy's a journeyman quarterback. You can expect Josh McCown to be a viable starting quarterback for a team and bring them and make a playoff push. Look, his numbers aren't bad. 23 for 39, 262 yards and a touchdown, but a lot of that came late. He played terrible the whole time. I mean, like you said, Robbie Anderson, again, 85 yards, 4 catches. He had a touchdown. Oh, wait, hold on. We're getting a phone call here. Hold on one second. Let's see. Hi, caller. Where are you calling from? What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yeah, do we have you? Oh, is this working? Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe that's why. Hi, caller. Are you there? Hello? Are you there?
Hello?
Hey, how are you? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jacob from Elizabeth.
Hey, Jacob, how are you?
Good. How about you guys?
Doing all right.
Good.
We're licking our proverbial wounds after both of our teams last week, but what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I want to talk about those Jets for a second.
Oh, join in on the terrible conversation. But go ahead. What do you got for us?
Well, I'm not a Jets fan. My brother is, so I feel bad for him and you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
It's a typical Jet season,
Agreed.
They have something.
Wait. It's not a typical Jets season. Listen, they were supposed to go 0-16 this year. It's not a typical Jets. Yeah, but they're better than their expectations were coming to the year. But okay, go ahead.
But that's what they always say. They were supposed to be better. They're supposed to be, if they win 7 games, I'll be happy. If they win 8 games, I'll be happy. They finally get something going for them, and they just always find ways to lose. They had the Bills. The Bills came to them. They did a great job. And then they just, next week, they have things going for them, and they just can't continue the momentum. And it happens all the time.
Exactly.
Every year after year.
Here we are.
Rub it in more.
No, but it's
Albert.
true. Here we are. I mean, look, I'm a realist as a Jets fan. I'm not going to be one of those guys who's going to defend my team because they're my team. Look, the fact is that the Jets have this innate ability to lose the games that they should win. They were coming in, here are the Bucs coming in at 2-7 without their best quarterback, without their best wide receiver. This should have been a cakewalk for the Jets, and they couldn't beat a 2-6.
Ryan
Bucs
Fitzpatrick led team.
2-6 Ryan Fitzpatrick led Bucs team.
The guy who you let go, which you should have, but
thank God.
But how could you lose to that guy? It's just he loses it for you in that game at Buffalo. To go to the playoffs
2 years ago. Yeah,
look what he does to you here. Not that he played great, but just.
He played better than Josh McCown.
You lost to Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, exactly. He played better than he outplayed Josh McCown. Not even in the stats. Not even in any way. But he won the game. He managed the game better. And the Jets have to do better at having their offense click when they need it to. And this is one of those things where the Bucs don't play solid defense every week. This is one of those things where the Jets should have steamrolled this team, and they found a way to lose.
Right. And also, I'm going to switch over to the Dallas Cowboys now.
Sure.
Because they are a playoff contender. But, I always feel that the Dallas Cowboys, every year, even the Romo era, they always played well during the season, but when it comes down to the playoffs and tough games, or, they always seem to fail. And they really, if they're going to be a Super Bowl contender this year, they got to step up. And yesterday we saw that, from bad coaching and, a couple of guys injured, but it doesn't mean that, you blow the game 27-7 or whatever it was,
I mean, I don't know if anybody would have expected the Falcons to steamroll the Cowboys like it seemed like they did. I mean,
you know what? I honestly think I could have held Claiborne to 5 sacks, maybe not 6. At least I would have done something. It jumped at his legs or something. Anybody, there were some plays in that game where he didn't touch him. You saw it?
Yeah, I know.
He didn't touch him. This is a left tackle in the NFL. I know he's a backup for a reason, but this is a left tackle in the NFL. He didn't touch him.
But that's where the coaches need to come in and play.
That's
they
true.
Need to do their job.
Oh, and we're going to talk.
You know, if you're gonna go to the playoffs, you know, you make it to the playoffs every year. You have a great record, 12 wins, 13 wins, but you guys always blow it. You can't win 2 games in the playoffs.
But this is a new era. The Romo era is done. You know, I love him, but he's done. And Dak is a totally different mindset, different quarterback than Romo, and he's in his second year.
I understand that, but they have to change the way that they're playing. You know, you see it now in the regular season. You can't do that type of stuff during the playoffs.
I'm not worried.
When the playoff comes along and they do that type of stuff, once again they'll be out first, second round.
If we don't have our best offensive lineman, left tackle, in for the next few games, I'll be worried. But if he comes back, I think we're going to be okay.
Well, I mean, let's hope.
Cool.
Yeah, let's hope for it. Jacob, thank you very much for your call, man. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Thanks a lot. So let's swing back to the Jets just real quick, just to end that conversation, because we're going to talk heavily in depth about the Cowboys in a little bit.
I wanted to bring up one thing I noticed. You know, the Jets are coming up. They have Alex Smith and Cam Newton. They're going against next.
Yes.
Okay? These are 2 really good quarterbacks. Okay?
Yeah.
I just looked up the quarterback the Jets beat this year are Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor.
Okay.
Okay.
Tyrod's not. He's playing well. He's playing well.
He's not.
These past 2 weeks notwithstanding, he's played well.
Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
Kevin Hogan. Blake Bortles.
No, there you go.
There you go. These are okay. They beat the quarterbacks they should be, but the quarterbacks they lost to, Derek Carr, they lost to Tyrod Taylor. That was the first game of the year.
Yeah.
I'm not playing that. Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, Matt Moore. Okay.
All right, so Matt Moore doesn't fit into the equation.
That alone, seeing Cam Newton and Alex Smith come up, like it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't.
And now Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Right, and Ryan Fitzpatrick to that list, you know. But I'm sure he was very happy beating the Jets.
I mean,
even though they paid him,
we got another call coming in. Hold on. Hey, what's up? You're on the Opening Whistle Radio Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Ari from Linden.
Hey, Ari, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing great, man.
Fantastic.
Thanks for calling.
Good. Yeah, sure. I was just listening to the previous conversation. You had Jacob from Elizabeth on.
Yeah.
And he was talking about the Cowboys. You know, he was speaking about the Cowboys in the playoffs, and I think that's the reason they lost this past Sunday's game. They thought it was a playoff game.
Oh, you're funny. Oh,
yeah. But no, wait. It seems like you take out their run game and one offensive lineman, and Dak Prescott is useless.
That's not true. He's not useless. You know, he's not useless.
He was the second leading rusher on the team.
They had it seemed like a 6-year-old playing offensive line for them yesterday.
He was only 6 years old?
Yeah, he was 6 years old. That's right.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I guess it's good defense.
I believe you're a 49ers fan, right?
He'll be the next Colin Kaepernick. He'll be on his knee for one season and not have a job for the next one. You know?
Oh, no.
Yeah, but you know what? But you guys, you know, it seems like you guys won the Super Bowl the way you guys, the Niners, were celebrating in the locker room yesterday.
Hey, you know what?
But they beat the worst team in history. So.
I don't care. Good for the Niners. I don't
good for them.
Any team go 0-16.
Good for them. That was a good shot, though. That was a good shot. I've heard it many times. But you know what? We have it's a different. Like I said, it's a different era. You know, it's a different era.
You're right. It is a different era. But last year in the playoffs, they didn't. They played well, but Green Bay with a completely depleted offense beat them.
Well, they had the best quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks of all time, also, and Dak played his butt off. You know, he led them back, and you know, there's only much you can do with it because the Cowboys' defense is so bad.
That's true. But I don't know. I just wanted to comment because it wasn't even a close game at all.
No, you know? Well, you know, when you can't protect, you know, your quarterback, you know, from that side, he has no protection. You know, what are you going to do? There's not much you can do.
I guess you're right.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Ari.
There's just so many A's and I's in the end, and then it's a different.
Anything else you want? Anything else you got? Or
no, I don't think so. I would talk about the 49ers. There's nothing to talk about. I'm saying they won. I'm happy. Whatever. They're not going to be the worst team this year. I hope. But
the Browns are always going to hold that title.
To see them get a win. So.
Well, the Browns actually played competitive this week, but I mean,
that's true.
But the 49ers were the ones that came out with the win.
Yeah, all right. So. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, thank you very much, man.
You got it. Have a good night, guys.
You as well. So I mean,
Cowboy ripping tonight.
Yeah, that's all right.
Well deserved. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm expecting people to rip on the Jets too. I mean, let's face it. They have.
But listen, I can't talk. The Cowboys are much better than the Jets right now. They have one more win than the Jets. So
it's true. So just to put a pretty little bow on the Jets conversation. They no matter what, at the end of the season, I predicted on our podcast that they were going to have 4 wins. They have that. They hit where I said. You said that you didn't even think they were going to get that many. And
I think 3 at best. At best.
Right. So I think
that was a miracle.
To a point, I think that this season's a success. They can't go anywhere but up at this point.
Right.
And
listen, so far this year is an unbelievable season for them.
And
listen, they're not out of it yet. Listen,
no,
they're probably out of it.
They're
but
probably
they're not
out of it,
but they're not out of it.
Technically, they're still the 10th ranked team in the AFC.
Right.
So,
their defense is going to keep them in games.
Absolutely.
And if Josh McCown plays,
well
enough.
Yeah.
Right. They're going to be okay.
All right, so you actually just heard 2 people called in. Just to throw it out again, our number is 609-910-0687. We're going to move on now. We're going to talk about another game. Now, here's where I get to make fun of you a little bit, Avi. We're talking about the big, bold prediction you had that the Bills were going to beat the Saints this week.
I wrote this down in my notes because I knew we were going to talk about this because I have the text I sent to you, in quote, "I'm pretty confident Bills are going to win," end quote. That's what I wrote. And I changed my pick. I did tell you I changed my pick to the Bills.
You did.
Because, the Saints on the road, Drew Brees in the cold weather, I really thought it was going to hold true. But I wanted to bring it up. That game, okay, yeah, I was totally wrong with that. I was off. I was telling you, the game was over in the second quarter.
Right. Wait, we got another caller, Avi. We're popular tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, caller, how are you? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Bill from Elizabeth.
Hey, Bill, how are you?
Springfield. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Good. Listen, I know you guys are talking about football, but we all know who's going to win the Super Bowl this year. We know it's the Patriots.
I hope not.
What do you guys think?
Look, here's the thing. I don't know how Avi feels about this.
He's not wrong.
The Patriots are going to probably be in the AFC Championship game. I mean,
they will be in the AFC Championship
and
game.
And barring something catastrophic, we know that's where they're going to wind up ending up. I just don't know if there's an NFC team out there to stop them, but I'm also not 100% confident that the Patriots will go to the Super Bowl this year. And we're going to talk about a team in a little bit that I think has a decent chance that people aren't really talking about that are playing well with a backup quarterback. The Minnesota Vikings are playing well.
Oh, okay. In the Super Bowl, okay. But we could pretty much shoe in. Okay, the Patriots will be in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to win one home game in the playoffs, right?
They're
gonna have to. They're winning the division. They're gonna have to win one game, and they're gonna play like Tennessee or something. They're gonna,
maybe. Yeah, you're probably right. I'm a Jets fan. I have to constantly deny this.
But as long as Tom Brady and Bill Belichick say, we always say it. They're in it.
You're right. But, okay, so then
look what they did last night.
All right, so then here's a question that I'll pose to the two of you guys. If the Patriots can make it to the Super Bowl, what team do you think has the best chance of beating them?
I don't think anyone has a chance to beat them. I really don't. I don't think same thing's going to happen like last year where the Falcons took that lead and they blew the lead. But I don't see anyone beating them this year. I really don't.
That's fair enough because
that's fair.
I mean, I don't know.
You don't give the Eagles.
If the Vikings make it, they're going to play in their home.
No,
stadium.
Eagles are in. They don't have enough experience. I can't see.
Which is why
Wentz beating Brady in a Super Bowl. I just can't see that.
Yeah, but that same point, I also really, as much as I like Case Keenum, I don't see him beating Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
But I mean, you're not wrong. You're really not wrong. And I don't want to admit it because I'm a Jets fan.
You can't. Five rings to back it up.
Yeah,
5 Super Bowls.
Fortunately. But it's that system. It's that Bill Belichick system. It's even like the trade they made for Garoppolo. They got more draft picks for. They're going to be around for a long while.
Yeah.
True.
Depressing.
All right, thanks guys. Great show.
Thanks for calling.
Okay.
All right, so let's dig into the Saints a little bit. How about Mark Ingram? How about their running game?
How about that running game?
Mark Ingram went for 131 yards for 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Kamara went for 106 yards for a touchdown and had 5 catches for 32 receiving yards. That's just their running backs. That's it.
And Drew Brees ran in for a touchdown too.
He did.
Yeah, and they had I forgot who it was. The name of the guy. He broke out for a 40-yard touchdown run.
Oh, the third string running back.
That guy.
Third string running back. Yeah.
That guy, yeah. No, but I was thinking about this today a lot about the Saints, and I was thinking about that game. Are the Saints really good? Or are the Bills really bad? And I would have to lean towards the Saints being really good right now.
Saints are 7-2. They're definitely seeming like they're the best team in that division by and far.
They're blowing my mind.
We keep saying the Panthers are 6-3. I looked up to see what the score is right now. I'm not sure if what the score is, but the Panthers will probably win here. They're probably going to be 7-3. But I mean, are they anywhere near as good as you think the Saints are right now?
No, not even close.
I don't either.
No, but But they're doing it despite Drew Brees. Drew Brees isn't having a Drew Brees type season, in my opinion. No, they're doing it on their running game and their defense this year, and that's a scary team though. If Drew Brees, can get back to what he hasn't been playing amazing, throwing for 5,000 yards. Like he's probably not going to do that this year.
No, definitely not. But he doesn't need to.
But you know what their odds were before the season to win the Super Bowl? They're 40-1 to win the Super Bowl before the season. Imagine jumping on that.
I would have loved to put some money down on that.
But they're really good. They're for real.
They are.
I think the Bills are. I don't think the Bills are that bad. They're not good right now, but they're not. They just lost two really bad games in a row.
They did,
and they are still in the wild card. They're still in the first wild card or second wild card. But the Saints, they're really good. But I tend to question in the playoffs. We don't know that defense. We're not sure about that defense for sure. How it's going to be in the playoffs. We know they have the running game.
Agreed.
And they're a team that's, they have the running game. They have a good defense now. That's a team that plays well, that goes well in the playoffs. Good offensive line. And look at that trade now, Max Unger for Jimmy Graham.
Absolutely.
Look at that.
That's paying out. And then, even when Breeze needs to throw the ball, the weapons he has with Michael Thomas, who went for 9 catches, 117 yards, Ted Ginn Jr. stepping up.
They're stacked.
They're stacked.
They're
stacked.
Yeah. And it's good to see, though, Drew Brees, in this situation, because he's a good guy, good quarterback. He's won a Super Bowl. He deserves this. Maybe, they'll make a run. The NFC is wide open right now.
I can't disagree.
Wide open. You cannot say there's one team that's the clear-cut favorite in the NFC.
I mean, the Eagles are have the best record, but I don't know. We'll see. They're going to play some real teams soon.
Right.
And we'll see what happens there. All right, let's move on. Really quick, we'll talk about this. The Browns got competitive. They lost 38-24. Really quick, I just wanted to talk about DeShone Kizer. 21 for 37, 232 yards, 2 touchdowns. One of them he ran in for himself. Do you think that maybe the Browns might have found something in DeShone Kizer?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't. I don't believe it. They're 0-9.
I agree, but they're 0-9 and they have no wide receivers. They have no offensive line. They have no defense.
I don't know.
They're a crap team. I'm saying on a better team, do you think that DeShone Kizer would be doing a little bit better?
No. I don't. I don't know. It has to prove it to me more. This has been how many games into the season? 8 games he's played? 7 games?
And he did get pulled?
I haven't seen enough. And they're still the Browns. Is he going to take them over the top at any time soon? Really?
I don't know.
Pittsburgh, Ben's, getting older, but they're still the Steelers.
Agreed.
Baltimore, it is winnable. These teams aren't that great.
Right. They're not dominant. The Steelers are 7-2. That's a good record.
But we're talking about the Browns.
I know.
Just remember, I know it's.
I want to find something.
They are competitive in a lot of games, but listen, they always come up with the L. So.
I want to find something for them to cling to a little bit here. I feel really bad for that team, and I was impressed with DeShone Kizer.
You can say about the Jets. At least the Jets aren't the Browns. They're
bad.
A good
point, but they're still in that bottom tier with the Browns. But
right. In the last whatever.
Yeah, the last couple of years, especially.
But no, I don't see it in him. No, I don't.
Fair enough. I wanted to pose the question.
Not now. It's a fair question. I just don't see it right now.
And real quick, just
remember they drafted Johnny Manziel too. Just
true.
Remember, yeah.
Real quick, just to go to the Lions. Real quick, they're 5-4. Matt Stafford 17 for 26, 243 yards, 3 touchdowns. What do you think about the Lions?
Again, the Lions, they beat the Browns, which they should have.
Right.
Matt, but these are games they have to start rolling off wins now. The Browns, they're still in the race. They're playing the Vikings on Thanksgiving. It's a huge game. They're 2 out. They're 2 back now. The Vikings,
right, and that's going to be a big game for
Matt Stafford. If he's a big game quarterback, he is. But they're not out of it yet. They're not out of it. I'm not taking them out of it yet.
Not by far. Matt Stafford is a good quarterback. I don't know. I don't believe in the Lions like I did maybe like a year or so ago.
Because they're the Lions, right?
Yeah.
But they're Matt Stafford. Look at the quarterbacks in that division now. You got Matt Stafford's the best quarterback right now starting in that division.
Yeah, he is.
Take away
until Teddy Bridgewater comes back and he can see if he can prove himself.
Right. And Green Bay, and Green Bay's in it. Green Bay's 5-4 also. They're right there with the Lions.
Yeah, let's talk about them real quick. Here's a game that I got wrong. I picked the Bears over the Packers. I think you did too.
I did.
Yeah. So I think we both realized that Brett Hundley's not really the guy, but 18 for 25, 212 yards, a touchdown. He showed some mobility. He's not terrible.
No, he's not terrible.
He's definitely not good.
He's not good, but he has to take over for one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And listen, they're in it right now. If he can keep them relevant, listen, you never know when in the NFC. They're only a game out also.
I know.
In the wild card.
It's crazy to think.
And they're 2 back in the division.
It's crazy to think. They have the same record as the Lions.
And is Aaron Rodgers done for the year?
Yeah,
officially?
I think
even
so.
If they make the playoffs?
I don't know if there's a time.
It's going to be like that Romo. It's like that Romo situation a few years ago when Romo tried to come back and that Thanksgiving game against the Panthers, and he got one hit, and he was.
Yep, I remember that. I had Romo stashed on my bench on my fantasy team for like
that was tough. But yeah, I think you're right. I think Rodgers is done. But that division right now is Minnesota's to win. I mean, they're just rolling. They're rolling
with Case Keenum.
Keenum, exactly. And he's playing great. He's playing great. He's finding the receivers that he should. They're stacked also.
They are
with Diggs and Thielen. And the running game. It's Minnesota's division. Right now
it is. It's their division to win. So let's move on. Really quick, we'll breeze by the Bears. Look, the Bears are 3-6. They don't have a lot of firepower, and they don't have a lot of defense. They don't play really good defense. But I gotta say, I kind of like Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, we discussed this last week. Yeah, he's only going to get better.
I think so.
And he had little. I think he only played like 9 games in college in his career.
Right.
And he's playing well.
He is, and
it's looking like they made the right choice by trading up for him.
I think so. And right now, I think that if they put some receivers behind him, they get him a little bit of protection. Right. Their defense plays. I mean, the defense isn't playing bad this year. They're just not playing good.
No, right.
So they get a couple of different guys. Maybe the Bears could.
They're total rebuild mode. They're in rebuild mode.
I just wanted to mention. I do like Trubisky though.
I do also, but listen, I thought, which I think we mentioned, I liked Deshaun Watson all of last year. I thought that he should have been the number 1 quarterback.
100%.
But listen. It's looking good so far for them.
So let's talk real quick about the Bengals and the Titans. The Titans won a game that they should have won, but they won 24-20 against a team where the Bengals. I mean, they're so hot and cold sometimes. It bothers me. They're 3-6. I mean, they don't seem like they're 3-16. They seem like they should be worse.
What do you think it's been? What's been the problem for them this year? What do you think?
I think that.
You think it's a quarterback? You think it's their head coach who's been their coach for 20 years and hasn't won a playoff game?
I think that. I mean, look, you talk all the time about how Marvin Lewis shouldn't still be there. I think it's a lot of things, and I think that it's bad coaching is a start. I mean, how do you have A.J. Green throwing punches at a guy, putting some guy in a sleeper hold and throwing punches, and then I mean, you can't. You have to coach these guys. Yes, these guys are big stars, and that was the one big thing that a lot of people talked about. If you want to compare this to the baseball. When it came to the Yankees, they had Joe Torre was their manager, and they had all of those egos, at one point, and everybody was like, "Well, Joe Torre is not to be a good manager. They have an all-star team." But no, you do, because you have to keep all those egos in check. And I just don't see that Marvin Lewis and this coaching staff is doing that. Well, Vontaze Burfict this past week. Pac-Man Jones. Well, I'm just talking about the Vontaze Burfict hit he had on Mariota and then got ejected, pushing a referee.
Well, we're not surprised about that.
Of course, we're not surprised about it. But I mean, you have to discipline these players.
Of course. Well, this is why. This is the culture right now with the Bengals. This is what they need. It's like the Giants right now. They're a mess.
Yeah.
Who knows if they have respect? Because A.J. Green, I feel bad for him. He's so good, A.J. Green.
Such a talented
receiver.
receiver.
He's so good. Imagine if he had a good quarterback right now. Andy Dalton is not a good quarterback
I don't think Andy Dalton's a terrible quarterback.
He's not terrible.
I just don't think he's a good quarterback.
He's not right. Exactly. Yeah. He's not good. But imagine they were rolling even the last 2 years ago. A.J. Green needs somebody. I don't know what they're going to do. He's locked up? Is Andy Dalton locked up with them?
I think he is. They were trying to the Browns tried to sign the backup quarterback. Was A.J. McCarron, right?
Right.
And
they botched that.
Yeah, they botched that like they do with everything else. Poor 0-9 Browns. But which I think is better, because I think Kaiser played well at least this week. So I mean, I think it's better that they're getting a little more of a sample size of him. But
A.J. Green arguably he's in the top 3, top 4. When he's right, he's got to get.
He just needs somebody to throw the ball to him.
That team is. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with Marvin Lewis. It's time.
It's time for them to make a coaching change.
It's time. They've been very blah for the last 20 years.
Yeah, they got to do something. And the Titans. I mean, look, Marcus Mariota, 25-44, 264 yards, a rushing touchdown. He had 51 rushing yards. But I mean, DeMarco Murray came into his own again, at least this week. So their running game is starting to get right. 42 yards, 2 touchdowns, a receiving touchdown. So, I mean, Mariota is starting to show signs of life. And that's good, because I said this last week, and I said this on our podcast for weeks, like towards the end of the season. Marcus Mariota was my pick to be the breakout quarterback this year.
Right.
And he hasn't lived up to it, but he's starting to show a little bit.
But he's got to be more consistent.
Absolutely.
He's got to be much more consistent. He's got so much potential to be great, especially fantasy-wise. He can run. He can run. He broke out how many big touchdown runs he had in his first few years.
I know.
He has that potential, but he's got to be more consistent. But they are 6-3 right now.
They are.
They're leading the division.
But that's a team that doesn't feel 6-3.
It doesn't. It doesn't feel like that at all. There's
something missing.
there is something
and
missing.
I can't put my finger on it. I mean, I honestly I don't think he has any. He doesn't have a really. Who's their number one receiver? Is it Corey Davis right now?
Probably.
Is that their number one receiver?
That's something they're missing for sure.
That's what I think. Mariota is doing an admirable job by throwing to.
They go as he goes.
Yeah. I mean, he's throwing to Corey Davis and Delaney Walker.
Right.
I mean, those are his receivers.
Yeah.
I think that if they should have made a pitch for a big name wide receiver at the trade deadline. I think they could have really benefited from that.
Yeah. Maybe go after Martavis Bryant or trade for him.
Right.
Yeah. But, they go as he goes. And Mariota, it looks like, surprisingly, it looks like they're definitely going to be in the mix. If not a wild card, they're going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah. I think they'll make the playoffs. Do you see
they just have to fight off Jacksonville. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And if not, they get a wild card.
I agreed. And speaking of Jacksonville, let's talk about that one. Chargers 17, Jaguars 20. Another big win. They're 6-3. They're tied with the Titans right now in that division. Wait, and we have another call. Hold on one second. Hey, caller, how are you? What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Hey, caller, what's up? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Julia.
Hey, how are you?
I'm from New Jersey.
Hi.
I was just wondering, do you think that the Yankees are going to make it to the Super Bowl this year?
I think you're talking about the wrong sport.
Maybe intentionally. I don't know.
I'm thinking that might be the case.
I think it might be. But no, I do not think the Yankees are going to make it to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I don't think
unless something crazy happens in the next,
I don't think there's a physical possibility of that.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening. Yeah.
Do you have anything else to add while you're at it? You want to talk about the Mets?
I don't really know too much, but maybe they'll hit a home run and go, "Boomer shakalaka."
Yeah, maybe. Well,
scoring touchdowns, hitting home runs. That's what the Yankees do best.
Exactly. Well, thank you very much for your call. We appreciate it. All right, so there was that. Let's get back on
right.
So
new caller.
Yeah, Jaguars beat the Chargers 20-17. Here's the thing about the Jaguars. Blake Bortles played bad again. And they 28 for 51, 273 yards and a touchdown. And again,
I hate him. I don't know why.
But they keep winning.
I know. I don't know what's up with him.
I want to sit back and say that they're a.
What is he?
I don't know.
They have no other options though.
They don't. And
he has such a good. He has Leonard Fournette. He's got a great receiving core.
This is the thing
he could be so good.
This is what I wanted to bring up. Leonard Fournette had a terrible game.
Yeah.
And they still found a way to win. And look,
he has everything he needs around him.
The Chargers.
They legitimately could be a Super Bowl team if he was, competent every week, consistent.
Agree.
They legitimately can be.
I think the Chargers are better than a 3-6 team.
But they lose. That's the Chargers.
But they just always lose a close game at the end, and that's their problem. But I mean, the Jaguars are. This is what I always say. We know what makes a mark of a good team is to win close games. And the Jaguars are being that team right now. 6-3, they keep winning. And I just don't know how they're doing it because I don't believe in Blake Bortles. You don't believe in Blake Bortles.
No.
I mean, Leonard Fournette is a monster, and he's playing well, but he has a bad week. So you would think, well, if he has a bad week, then that means the team has a bad week. But here are the Jags right at the top of the division again. We joke around all the time, and I said this last week. The Jaguars seem to only play well in London, and it doesn't seem like they play well anywhere else. But they're doing it in the States this year. They're doing it at home. They're playing well on the road. They're becoming a complete team. But I just don't know how confident I am in Blake Bortles.
Right. I have a question for you.
Oh, sure.
Blake Bortles or Case Keenum, who has a better chance of winning the Super Bowl?
Case Keenum.
Okay, I agree with you.
And it's not, and that's not even a knock on. And that's
Ryan Fitzpatrick or Josh McCown.
Josh McCown. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care.
Nice.
Even still, I go with Josh McCown.
Yeah, no, I just don't understand. He's got one of the best defenses in the NFL. He's got one of the best running backs in the NFL.
Right.
He's got a great receiving core.
They should be steamrolling teams.
They
should have beat the crap out of the Chargers this week.
They should have.
And the Chargers, even still, here's another thing. You talk about the Chargers. Austin Eckler, 42 yards, 5 catches for 77 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Who's that?
Austin Eckler.
I know.
Exactly. Who the hell is that guy?
I don't know. Why wasn't Keenan Allen getting those touchdowns?
Why? Because Austin Eckler seems like he's just open.
No,
everywhere.
but he should get touchdowns for me, for my fantasy team.
Listen, I have Melvin Gordon this week too.
Okay.
And I had Fournette.
I don't know who this guy is.
He's their number 2 running back. He reminds me of like Danny Woodhead a little bit.
Oh,
he's kind of got like that. He's small. He does well in the open field. He had a lot of great catches.
Rex Burkhead type. Like
yeah, absolutely. One of those guys.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I mean, the Chargers have firepower. They could be good. They just can't play defense. And they can't.
And you want it for Phillip Rivers,
I do so bad.
He deserves one.
The dad of
but you know what?
He's a dad of 512 children.
I hate to say it, but he's in that Tony Romo category. There's these guys that are good, really good, but they just can't get over that hump. Yeah. And it doesn't seem like Phillip Rivers is going to get over that. He's not going to win a Super Bowl.
No.
But it's that type of guy you want to see win.
Yeah, you do. I don't know. I mean, the one bright spot about the Jaguars, though. How about Marquise Lee?
Awesome.
Yeah,
what a pickup!
You picked him up in our fantasy league, and
he's awesome.
He's playing well.
Listen, he's starting to play like he should have.
Like he should have been.
He's a really talented receiver.
This is also the Jaguars without Allen Robinson,
right?
And just imagine.
Yeah.
Just imagine.
And Justin Blackmon.
Yes.
Remember what's going on with him? He was a top 10 pick, I think.
Yeah.
And he was like the best receiver in college, and he had his all field troubles.
Right. But he's
another guy, right? He's disappeared. And but you know what? A big one is Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
Man, that was a good draft pick.
Absolutely.
He looks like.
I mean, the Jaguars could be for real. We talked about the Titans. We talked about the Jags now. We'll see where they end up.
Yeah.
So just one more time, if you guys want to call in, we got about 15 minutes left. Number is 609-910-0687. Let's breeze through a couple of these games because I know you really want to talk about a couple of things. First and foremost, I want to just spend a little bit of time on the Vikings. They beat the Redskins 38-30. Case Keenum 21 for 29, 304 yards, 4 touchdowns. Adam Thielen catches everything that comes his way. The guy ended up with 166 receiving yards and a touchdown. I think the Vikings are for real.
They are. They
with
are
Case
for real.
Keenum. But with Case Keenum as their quarterback, the Vikings are for real.
But we'll see in the playoffs because we'll see what happens. Because let's say Case Keenum has 2 bad games, Teddy Bridgewater might come in, but we don't know. That's the question with their quarterback situation. We don't know.
I know. But I mean, I think no matter what,
their defense is legit.
I like Teddy Bridgewater. Don't get me wrong. I really do. I've always been a Teddy Bridgewater fan.
But we don't know how he's going to come off of the injury. We don't know how he hasn't done it in a big game.
If I'm that team right now, I'm sticking with Case Keenum. Until Case Keenum,
absolutely.
Until Case Keenum gives me a reason not to stick with him, Case Keenum is my quarterback.
Absolutely.
Even if Bridgewater's 100%.
Oh, you have to. Absolutely. And that's what they're going to do. But like I said, if he struggles for 2 games, then they're going to make a switch. They might make a switch. But Case Keenum has been unbelievable for them this year.
I agree.
What a job.
And on the flip side, how about the Redskins? They're 4-5. Kirk Cousins has another. Kirk Cousins has a good game. 327 yards. He threw for a touchdown. Vernon Davis, Jamison Crowder playing well. Even though Crowder had a lot of really bad drops, but there's a team that's 4-5 that they feel like they're actually better than their 4-5 record.
Yeah, but it reflects their. Yeah, I know. I always say Kirk Cousins. He seems to me like an 8-8 quarterback. Because what he always is. It just seems they find a way. They started off really well this year. But
they did.
They're a good team also. They're a better team than the record says. I think so.
That's what I'm saying. I know they were.
And Josh Norman has been out.
Yeah, and Jordan Reed didn't play again. It's. I feel for the Redskins sometimes too because I almost feel like they're always like that least talked about team in that division, and they're not like a brush over team.
But listen, they're not making the playoffs this year.
No, they're definitely not.
They're not going to make it.
Speaking of teams that are going to make the playoffs, Steelers beat the Colts in a very close 20-17 game.
Well, you think the Colts are making the playoffs, huh?
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. They have a very very good chance.
Yeah,
with a 3-7 record.
I was shocked by that game. I cannot believe the Steelers didn't steamroll them.
Yeah, I agree. Look, the Colts defense played well. Jacoby Brissett actually didn't play terrible. 14 for 24, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns. Right. Who is Chester Rogers? How did he have 6 catches for 104 yards and a touchdown? Then that's what I'm saying. The Colts can, they're trying for what they have. But man, let me tell you something. This Ben Roethlisberger and this Juju Smith-Schuster connection is it's unbelievable.
Just another weapon for Big Ben that could keep him around for another few years.
It's Martavis Bryant and it's Antonio Brown and it's Schuster and it's Le'Veon Bell. I mean, how much firepower can one team have?
Right, and that's why I'm surprised. They should be scoring. This team could really be scoring 30 points a game.
I know, and they
should be.
They're 7-2. They have a great record. They don't.
Another team, right?
It seems like they're better than a 7-2 record.
Right, exactly. But This is the team. Steelers are the team, in my opinion, right now that are the biggest threat to the Patriots. But it seems like we say that every year.
I'm still going to go with the Chiefs. I still think that the Chiefs can get it together, and they can. They beat the Patriots already. They know how to do it. They can do it again.
You know how I feel about Alex Smith. I don't know if I trust that guy.
But the thing is that the Jets prove that you can do that. They beat the Patriots early in the season, lost the second game, beat them in the first round of the playoffs.
Right.
If the Chiefs see the Patriots, if I'm the Patriots, I'd be a little concerned.
Right.
But if they see the Steelers too, I'm just as concerned. Both of those teams, I think, they're playing well. The Steelers' defense played pretty well.
Right. The only way, in my opinion, the Patriots are going down is that they go on the road in the playoffs on the championship game.
But they're not going to.
Probably not. Well, they're both 7-2 now, the Patriots and Steelers. If somehow the Steelers can have a better record,
still not going
that's the only way, in my opinion, that's going to happen. Right?
I don't disagree.
And that's a big reason why we always say every year the Patriots are going to win this, are going to go to the Super Bowl, because if they're winning the division, that's guaranteed.
Yep.
They're going to be at home. They have to win one playoff game and then go to the championship game. They have 2 home games every year. That's why. But that's why also. I
agree.
Come on, Buffalo, Miami, and Jets. Come on,
Jets.
Yeah. Look. And speaking of Miami, they're it's a tight game here with the Panthers.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football.
I mean, they're down 10-7.
Pretty. This is just the capper of the
indicative
week.
of this week in football. I mean, Cam Newton still looks like he's playing well. Nice completion there, hard tackle. But let's move forward really quick. We'll talk about a team that I think has surprised everybody and is playing extremely well. How about the Rams? 33-7 over the Texans. I mean, look, I know the Texans season is done now that Deshaun Watson got hurt, but I mean, Jared Goff. 25 for 37, 355 yards, 3 touchdowns. Todd Gurley, 68 rushing yards, 68 receiving yards off of 6 catches. And Robert Woods. Who the hell is Robert Woods, and how does he have 8 catches for 171 yards and 2 touchdowns? This is what I'm talking about. Jared Goff is playing well. Their defense is playing well. They are hitting on all cylinders. And Jared Goff doesn't have some monster wide receivers that he's throwing to. It's Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, and he's still doing it.
We'll give it up for their head coach, who,
absolutely.
But I said to pump the brakes on them because we'll see how long they can do this for. Because remember, like I said, Chip Kelly with the Eagles, how well they started and then how it ended. But we'll see. They're legit, right?
7-2.
They're 7-2. The Rams.
They have the same record as
the
Steelers, and the Patriots are and the Patriots.
If I would have told you before the season that the Rams would be 7-2 and the New Orleans would be 7-2 and the Philly would be 8-1, what would you tell me?
I would have told you were crazy.
Exactly.
If you would have told me that the best teams in the NFL as of right now would have been the Patriots, I would have believed you. The Steelers, I kind of think
Kansas City
was okay. Kansas City, sure. You would have said the Titans 6-3. Yeah, I could have saw that too. You would have told me the Eagles were 8-1. I would have told you were crazy. You would have told me the Rams were 7-2. I would have told you you're really crazy. You would have told me the Saints were 7-2. I would have told you you're out of your mind. And even the Vikings, I don't think that I would have thought they were 7-2.
Right. And teams that were supposed to be good that are not good.
I mean,
you told me the Tampa would be 3-6 after the Giants would be 1-8, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I mean the Seahawks even 6-3 isn't even
Yeah, and the Jets are 4-6. It's just this year.
Yeah, but we thought the Jets were going to be worse.
Everything that you thought this year in the NFL is just turn on you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is good, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's really not much worth mentioning, but the Texans season is done, right?
Right. No, they're
done.
They're absolutely out, which is unfortunate. They lost their quarterback and they lost J.J. Watt, so they're done.
All right, so we're gonna breeze through these next 2 games really quick, so we can dedicate the last couple minutes to you and talking about your Cowboys.
Thank you, Albert.
49ers got their first win, 31-21 over the Giants.
I just want to can you just read what I wrote here for the Giants? The first thing just see what I wrote. The first thing.
Hold on.
Thank you, Albert. That was good. That was very good. I literally wrote, that's what I wrote. Can you, like we said last week, is it rock bottom now?
Yeah,
it's rock bottom.
I don't even think they're trying to play anymore.
They're not trying. I wrote it. They clearly have given up at this point.
I mean, Eli had an Eli game. Shepard played well, but.
And we're not surprised that they lost to the 49ers, which is pathetic. We're not surprised. We both picked the 49ers.
We both picked the 49ers.
We're not surprised at all that they lost to one of the worst teams in the NFL, if not the worst team.
Yeah.
And then C.J. Beathard,
Yeah, C.J. Beathard got
lost
beat
to
up
C.J.
again.
Beathard. They lost to C.J. Beathard.
The guy got beat up again, and he's still. I'm telling you, that guy is so tough. I can't wait. I hope that guy has a long career as a backup quarterback. I really do.
Backup quarterback.
I really do.
He's not going to have any big career. He's not going to be a starter, but you're right. He is playing hard.
He is.
But you cannot lose to CJ. I mean,
and knowing his job is going to be given to Jimmy Garoppolo no matter how well he plays.
Listen, he's playing for that money, for that contract, to be a backup. He can be a really good backup. You're right.
I think he can be.
He's done a lot for this team.
He has.
No name.
Yeah. With no talent. Yeah. I mean, what was it? Goodwin had that 83-yard catch. Carlos Hyde's playing well. Those guys might not even be there next year.
Right.
But, I mean, big ups to CJ Beathard.
Big ups.
Giants, man, if you're a Giants fan, I would say I feel for you, but you know what? I've been a Jets fan for so long, and you ripped on them for years about being terrible, so now this is kind of what you get.
Oh, looks like we got a pick from Luke Kuechly.
Yep.
Nice. Oh, Jay Cutler threw a pick. That's right. I forgot he was a quarterback.
Yeah, did you forget about that?
Not surprised now.
Yeah,
but just it's just McAdoo's just he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah.
He lost the locker room. They do not respect him clearly. They're not playing hard for him.
No. Nobody cares.
And I'm sure the owner, John Mara, is not happy with this.
I wouldn't be.
They made the wrong choice, first of all, in my opinion. They brought in this no-name guy for a historical franchise.
I agree.
I have my things to say about the Cowboys coach, but this guy clearly is not the guy, and he's lost the locker room, and this team is done for, and they're just playing they're going to have a top 3 pick this year in the draft.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, I think McAdoo needs to get fired. Just straight up, he just needs to be fired, and he should be fired now.
He should be fired now.
Why are they waiting?
He should have been fired 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the guy.
How the hell did they beat the Broncos?
I know.
How'd they win to Denver? Denver's not good. We know this.
Yeah, we're going to talk about them in a second, but I mean, I just don't know how Ben McAdoo's still employed. No. I don't know how Ben McAdoo is still employed.
I don't know. He's gone.
He's terrible.
Because you know what? Even if the Giants fan, they're going to go crazy. The Giants fan, they're riot. There's no way he has a job.
No,
next year. That's
I
it.
wouldn't
at the
care.
Latest. No way. He's gone. I'm sure everybody wants him gone. Doesn't matter who it is.
I know there's a lot of people blaming the fact that they lost their 2 best receivers and blah 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 blah.
Don't you wish you had a guy like Todd Bowles right now?
Oh my God, you have no idea.
I mean, the Giants.
Yeah, the Giants ripped on Todd Bowles for the past 2 years. Every Giants fan I know ripped on Todd Bowles, said he was terrible, and now that guy's coaching the team that was only supposed to have 1 win is now being coached to being a 4-win team. The Giants are falling apart, and this city is going to rip them apart if they don't do something and do something soon. It doesn't even matter to salvage this season. They need to do something. They need to make a statement. They need to fire Ben McAdoo this week. He should be gone. They lost to a team that had no wins. Ben McAdoo does not deserve to have a head coaching job.
And Eli Manning does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, which he probably will be.
He probably will be.
It makes me mad.
Listen.
No, it's terrible.
Joe Namath is going to be in the
He's terrible.
In the Hall of Fame.
He's terrible.
Eli Manning in the Hall of Fame.
1-8.
Eli Manning's going to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm telling you right now.
I know. Whatever. We're going to start a petition when that comes.
Real quick, so I really want to give you a little, the rest of the time. Patriots beat the Broncos 41-16. You can make fun of me. Go ahead, go for it.
Yeah, listen. I'm not gonna make fun of you that much because you probably thought it was 2 years ago when Brock Osweiler was some no name and he just came in for Peyton Manning, and you're like, but now you know what Brock Osweiler is. That's why I don't know why you picked them.
Because Osweiler seemed to just play really well against the Patriots.
Well, not yesterday.
All the time, he just always seemed to play well against the Patriots.
Not yesterday. Listen.
No, he's not. Not 41-16.
Listen, I know. I think you just wanted to take the Broncos because you wanted the Patriots to lose. I think it was more in your head.
Always.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not going to blame you for that. Because I've done that before with picking against my team.
Anybody over the Giants?
Yeah, anybody. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we said it before. We'll say it again real quick. It's safe to say the Patriots are locked to be in the AFC Championship this year.
Yes, it's a lock.
Yeah,
book it.
How the mighty have fallen. The Broncos' defense is just awful. Their offense is awful. They're an awful team.
No quarterback.
No, and
no quarterback.
They don't even seem that 3-6 record. They should have. I mean, I feel like they should. When did they win?
This is why you say, how valuable is it to have these type of quarterback? We only have like 10. How many quarterbacks do we have in this league that are great, that are like legit quarterback? This is why you have to give respect to the guys like Phillip Rivers, who's kept them. He's been a great quarterback for them. Tony Romo, even him.
Yeah. Yeah,
and he's kept them relevant.
Absolutely. But even say to a point, even Andy Dalton, you can even throw into that category a little bit because he always seems to have
the
them.
Broncos
need
to address the quarterback position.
Yeah, they need something. And look, do you think Paxton Lynch is the answer?
No.
If he's healthy, do you think Paxton Lynch is the answer?
He hasn't done anything. What has he shown us? He hasn't played.
Well, I mean, he's been hurt.
Right. No, I don't believe it.
So you don't think they give him a shot next year?
They might. They might give him a shot.
If that's you.
But Alex Smith is a free agent. That's a guy to go after.
Yeah, but he's going to the Jets.
No, I don't believe in.
I'm going to keep willing that to happen.
If I had all those 3 quarterbacks now with the Broncos, I would prefer Simeon over all of them. But he's not the future either. I would prefer Simeon.
All right, fair enough. All right, so Falcons beat the Cowboys 27-7. Screw it. Avi, go for it.
Man. Well, first of all, listen. I'm not that surprised that the Cowboys lost the way they did. I mean, the way they did, yeah, I am surprised the way they lost. But listen, when you're missing your top three, arguably your top three players, it's not going to be good, right?
Zeke hurt.
Sean Lee got hurt.
Yeah.
You're missing the best left tackle in the game for the last 10 years since he's been in the league. One of the best left tackles.
Yeah.
And they bring... But the guy that they brought in, fine, Chaz Green, I don't blame him as much as I blame Jason Garrett for sticking him in there. Maybe after the third sack you would think, oh, maybe we'll bring another blocker in there. Maybe make a switch. But no, after the fifth sack, maybe make some adjustments. Isn't that what coaching is? They knew Tyron Smith was not going to be in the game.
Yeah.
They knew that he was going to be there. You see the guy getting beat like a dog. Why leave him out there? Maybe give us some chance to make some plays on offense.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
I completely agree.
I blame the coach. I blame the coach as much as I do the player.
I like Jason Garrett. I really do. But I mean, that's a really bad. It's a really bad mistake. It's a big mistake.
And it's not like Vic Beasley was doing it. It's Claiborne.
Yeah.
He's a good lineman, but come on, really? When does anybody have 6 sacks in a game against one player?
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, look, we said that the Bucs had 6 sacks in the game, but it was a bunch of different people that had those sacks, not one guy.
But like I said, there was some plays that he didn't touch him.
No,
he didn't touch him.
I know. And
there's a left tackle in the NFL. I know he's the backup. He's a backup for a reason.
Doesn't make a difference.
But he's a left tackle.
Doesn't make it.
Most important position on the offensive line.
He's a left tackle in the National Football
League. And you
League.
see how valuable Tyron Smith is in that offensive line.
I agree.
And like I said, the top 3 players. Well, Zach Martin's in there also because he's awesome. Zach Martin's one of the best. But I like what. Listen, I'm not worried. I'm really not that worried about the Zeke. I think it was more about the offensive line. I think they were. Zeke being out is not as big as what with Tyron Smith, in my opinion. But
okay.
I like what Dak, said after the game. He said we got our butts kicked like we did in Denver that game, and we came back and we got better from it, and they're gonna get better from this one. That's what I think, and I trust.
I hope so.
Dak Prescott. He's got good. He seems like a 10-year pro, like we say. He does.
He does. He's got a lot of poise for a guy who's in.
He has a lot of poise, and I trust him, and I trust that he's gonna have a big game next week against the Eagles. I think that. I don't know who's going to win, but I think he's going to have a big game. He's going to come back strong. That he's going to have a big game. They're at home. I trust the guy. I'm not that worried about the Cowboys.
Do you see there being any residual effects with the fact that since whenever Ezekiel Elliott doesn't play or doesn't play well, it seems as if Dak Prescott is their leading rusher. Do you really think that a guy like Alfred Morris can bring this team to playoffs? No,
it's not going to be because of him. It's going to be because of Dak.
I mean, I agree, but I mean, knowing he's their starting running back right now.
No, I don't see it. I want to believe it, but because of that offensive line. But like I said, Tyron Smith being there makes such a difference.
And what about the receivers? I mean, that seems to be an issue that needs to be addressed too.
It is. It's a big issue.
Dez doesn't seem like he's playing healthy.
No.
And really,
Witten I love, but he's old. And he throws up zeros, one catch maybe.
Yeah.
Every few games he'll have like a big game.
Where's Cole Beasley?
Terrence Williams is not a number 1. He's a good number 3, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That guy drops balls left and right. Cole Beasley's good, but yeah, you're right. They don't have...
Where's Cole Beasley, though? Where is he? I don't even know where he is.
Yeah, he has his big games also. He can go for 2-3 touchdowns. But yeah, that's a problem also. But Dak really has to carry a lot of this.
He does. He's got to wait and put a lot of weight
on his
shoulders. But I
love it that he has to do it because I feel good having him as my quarterback. I do.
Okay.
And I would take him over a lot of quarterbacks in this league.
All right, so really quick, I want to pose one really quick question. I just wanted to get your answer. Franchise quarterback, you have to pick it. One of the top 2, number 2, second-year quarterbacks, Dak Prescott, Jared Goff.
Well, obviously I'm taking Dak. You know that I'm taking Dak.
But I mean, even still, I'm
taking Dak. I'm taking Dak. Jared Goff still looks like a 18-year-old kid playing quarterback. He does. I have a guy who Dak. Do people forget last year what he did in the playoffs? He went 13-3. I don't care what people say. Oh, it's because they're running game, their offensive line. He played amazing. Okay, not every quarterback would have done that with them last year. Yep. Jared Goff, would he have done that with them last year? I don't think so. I'm taking Dak all day.
All right, fair enough. All right, well, this has been the Opening Whistle Radio Show right here on messinradio.com. Thank you guys for listening.
Yes,
thank you guys for calling. And, we're going to be here next week, so tune in again.
Can't wait.
So for the Opening Whistle Radio Show, I'm Albert Albanese.
I'm Avi Schiffman.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for listening to the Opening Whistle Radio Show on MetsonRadio.com. For more information, go to Facebook.com/The Slam Sessions Podcast Network. We'll see you next week.
All right, Brad.
Wow, we actually did really well on time this time, too.
Yeah, we did. Perfect.